Hi guys, welcome back to Making Food Monday. Today I'm going to be making one of my favorites. Now I've never attempted anything like this. I always just order it at the restaurant. I love Al Pastor. If you've never had it, it's kind of a sweet and spicy pork, generally kind of stacked on top of each other and then shaved off. A little bit kind of like gyro meat, but in the sort of Mexican tradition. Anyways, this is going to be delicious and I'm really hoping that it turns out well because, like I said, Al Pastor is one of my favorite things to order at a Mexican restaurant and I love it. So here's hoping that it actually turns out. For my recipe today, guys, we're gonna need vinegar, chili powder, a lime, a pork shoulder or pork butt roast, an onion. These are chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. You'll need a bottle of beer, preferably a Mexican variety of beer. So we've got this one, cumin, and a pineapple. That's all that's going into our recipe today, guys. A couple of things about today's recipe are really intimidating for me. The first one is I have to cut up a pineapple. This job is generally reserved for Daddy because I'm a little intimidated to do it because you have to use a big sharp knife to cut it and I'm a little scared to do it. The other one is I've got to cut up this pork shoulder and I'm a little intimidated to do that too, although I've done that one before. This pineapple's new though. So let's start out with the pineapple. Okay, so don't tell Dad, but it wasn't nearly as intimidating when I actually did it as it looks when he does it. So don't tell him that I was maybe being a bit of a baby. Okay, so now that I've got my pineapple cut up, I'm gonna put that into a blender. Okay, so I've placed most of the pineapple in there. I've saved 1/4 of it though, and I'm gonna save that to the side. And I've got the rest of my pineapple in the blender. Okay, you guys, so I'm using my Vitamix. All I'm gonna do is turn it to the 1 and push start. It's gonna start moving and then I'm just gonna kind of push the pineapple down in there. Now this recipe that I'm using said something strange and I'm not sure how much truth there is to it. I've never heard it before, but it says in the recipe that I need to boil the beer before I add the meat to it because then it will boil off the alcohol. If you put it in there and then pressurize it, that the alcohol content won't boil off. I don't know that there's any truth to that. Actually, I kind of doubt it. But since it said that and I've never heard it before, I need to do more research. And since I haven't done that research yet, I'm gonna go ahead and boil the beer just to be safe. So the first thing that we're gonna do is put the beer into the pressure cooker and get that turned on to the sear roast function so that it will boil. Beer going in. And I'll set that to sear roast. Get that started and just let that boil. Just in case there's any accuracy to that comment because I've never seen that before, like I said. Anyway, now I'm ready to cut my roast into 2-inch chunks. Get this cut down so that it will cook faster and better and all of that. Wow, you guys, that process was a whole lot more intense than I expected it to be. I bought a pork butt that has a bone in it and it was really hard to get it off of the bone, and also it had a really thick layer of fat on the back, which is probably pretty normal for the pork shoulder or pork butt, but I took it off because I don't want that much oil in mine and I'm going to use it for something else later. But for now, I need to get this pork into that pot. Now all of our other ingredients are gonna go straight into the blender because they're gonna be part of the sauce that we're making that goes on the pork. So my onion, straight into the blender. I'm just gonna cut it into a few pieces. Right into the blender. Next I need 2 chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. There's 1. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of chili powder. There's 1, and there's 2. I need 2 tablespoons of lime juice. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna make that easy for you and just call that the juice of about 1 lime. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of cumin. And last thing I'm gonna add is 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. There's 1, and there's 2. Okay, and now I'm gonna turn it to 1. Push my on here. Kind of ramp up the speed as needed. Get this mixed up. The sauce made, I'm gonna pour the sauce right in on top of the meat and then mix that all up really, really well. Okay guys, now we're ready to seal up our pot. And then we're going to set it on our chicken function, which is our high pressure. We're gonna set the time to 60 minutes. Okay, so it's 1 hour and go. Setting it for a full hour should give that meat plenty of time to cook and soften and be nice and tender by the time it's done. And then after it's finished, we're gonna give it about 10 minutes to come down naturally just to make sure that everything's kind of settled in there before we open it. Okay guys, our time is finished and it's come down for 10 minutes on its own. Now it's time to let the pressure out. There we go. Now it's time to open it up and take a peek. Mmm. Oh, that smells so good, you guys. That looks so good. Okay, now at this point you can either shred it or you can cut it into small pieces. It should really just depends on your preference. Hey, I've got it all plated up. Now all I need are my guinea pigs. Do it. Guinea pigs! Hungry pig! Starving pig! Where's my little tiny pig?
It's over there.
Tiny pig! Oh, there he is. Hi, tiny pig. Who thinks it smells awesome?
Hey.
Who wants to go first? Jackson, what is that? What are you doing? That is not what I made.
Hot dog.
Ooh, a hot dog in there. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
You like it? Do I get some thumbs? Yes! Thanks, little man. I say, Daddy's next. Oh.
Smells really good. Okay, here it goes. Super tender. Wow, it has a lot of flavor. Super tender. I like it a lot.
Jordan's puppy dog eyes win. You're good? Thanks. Alright, Mia's turn. You're eating the bottom, silly.
The only thing I don't like about it, it just gives it, it's just a little bit spicy.
Is it spicy?
What?
Okay. Do you like the flavor?
What's this?
Pineapple.
Oh!
What? It's good. Taste it.
It's really good.
Put it with the meat and have a taste of it. You like it? Pretty good, right? How many thumbs do I get? Really?
10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 1,000, 100 billion, a million.
Okay, you guys, my final thoughts. This recipe is really good. The meat tastes really good, but it is nothing like tacos al pastor that you get like at a Mexican restaurant. It's not the same recipe at all, although it is really tasty. It says in the recipe to use salt and pepper to taste. It needs the salt. Go ahead and add the salt in. Of course, that's gonna be to taste, so you might wanna wait until you're finished and then add it to your taco or your burrito, whatever, when you're done. Yeah, this recipe's really good. It's just also a little bit disappointing because it's not really what I was hoping for, but I can't complain too much because it was really tasty. So, who thought dinner was awesome? It was better with salt and sour cream in her opinion. So, Jordan, what'd you think?
I liked it. It had to have cheese and salt in my opinion.
Pretty good though. Yeah, those are pretty good burritos.
And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to make this channel strong, share it with your friends. And now, good night, YouTube. See you tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.